Most people picture Jesus as a gentle shepherd, watching over and protecting his flock. But what if I told you that Jesus was more like a fearless lion, unafraid to confront and challenge the status quo? That's exactly what we'll explore in this video. Get ready to discover a side of Jesus you've probably never seen before. Now imagine for a moment the year is 30 AD and you are a despised outcast. Society has labeled you, and you're not part of their in crowd. Now imagine Jesus entering the scene. Who is this man who doesn't seem to care what people think? Who is this man who touches the untouchables, eats with the sinners and calls the marginalized his friends? Who is this man who turns the world upside down by showing radical acceptance and love? This is not a fairy tale. This is the life and ministry of Jesus Christ as recorded in the Gospels. You see, in first-century society, purity and status determined a person's worth. Lepers were untouchable, tax collectors were despised. Traitors and women were often silenced, but Jesus, he moved straight toward those whom society rejected. While others avoided them, Jesus touched them. While others condemned them, Jesus called them by name. He dismantled the walls of separation and revealed God's heart for the outcast. Let's delve deeper into one of Jesus' most controversial acts, his interaction with a leper. In Luke chapter 5, a man desperate for healing fell at Jesus' feet. Despite being covered in disease, he dared to hope. "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean," he pleaded. Leprosy had rendered him untouchable, yet Jesus didn't recoil. He stretched out his hand, not in pity, but in power and love. He touched the man considered unclean and declared, "You belong." The healing power of this touch went beyond physical health. It was a spiritual rebirth, a recognition that he was valuable and cherished by God. Next, we meet Matthew, a tax collector, a profession that made him an outcast among his own people. When Jesus called him to follow, Matthew didn't hesitate. He left everything and followed Jesus. To celebrate, Matthew hosted a banquet, and who graced the occasion? The outcasts, the sinners, the misfits of society. The religious leaders were scandalized. They questioned Jesus. "How can you eat with such people?" To them, Jesus replied with a powerful metaphor. "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." Matthew 9:13. Jesus didn't just eat with these people. He identified with them, showing that he understood their struggles and accepted them just as they were. We see another powerful example with a woman from Samaria. Jesus, tired from a long journey, sat at a well. A woman came to draw water and Jesus asked her for a drink. Despite the cultural barriers between them, they engaged in a profound conversation. This led to a transformative moment when Jesus revealed himself as the Messiah. The woman, instead of being afraid, became his disciple and ran to tell the villagers about him. These encounters were not isolated incidents. Jesus broke barriers with everyone he met. He saw worth in a world of sin and shame. He reached out to touch, heal, and restore those society had scorned. He saw not outcasts, but children of God, each with a unique story, a purpose, and an inherent value. Now let's be honest, it's easy to judge and label people from a distance. But Jesus didn't just stand far off and point his fingers. He entered into people's lives, walked with them through their struggles, and showed them compassion and kindness. He didn't condemn them, he forgave them. He didn't reject them, he welcomed them. He didn't look down on them, he lifted them up. He didn't exploit them, he empowered them. Friends, Jesus' radical love wasn't confined to then, it's meant for now. He still reaches out to the rejected, the broken, the hurting, and the lost. He still sits with those society sidelines. And he still declares God's worth over those the world considers worthless. This is the love that changes everything. It's a love that calls us to go beyond our comfort zones, to embrace the stranger, to welcome the different, to accept the broken, and to love like Jesus loved. Let's not just tolerate those who are different from us. Let's pursue them. Let's elevate them. Let's love them without fear or compromise. Because every person, regardless of their background, their beliefs, or their struggles, deserves to know that they are seen, they are valued, and they are loved by a God who broke the mold for us. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear that they are not forgotten. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing stories about the love of Jesus.